My mom abandoned me for a new family. Now she wants to come to my wedding. But she did not know I would tell the truth. My mom left me when I was a baby for a new family and did not take me when I had no parents. Now she wants to be in my life again. So, I will start by saying, I never had a good bond with my mom. Calling her mom feels odd, because she was like a person I did not know, not a parent. She left when I was a small baby. I was too little to know she left. But I do know how my dad, David, took care of me and did all he could to raise me by himself. He was my true dad. He always was. But I did see my mom, Lisa, at times. I saw her now and then, but it was like a person you don't know well coming to see you once in a long time and acting like they care. The court said she could see me every other weekend, but she almost never came. I recall times when I was small, sitting by the window and hoping she would come, but she did not. She would not come or would bring me back early because she had other things to do. What makes me mad is she did not even try, not one bit. She would leave jobs so she would not have to pay money for me. My dad worked very hard for long hours while she did who knows what. 2 times she went to jail because she did not pay the money she had to pay. Can you think of it? Jail for not wanting to care for your own child? I heard about it from others because she did not tell me. My uncle told me. That is bad, right? When I was 6 years old, Lisa met a man named Mike. He was older than her, maybe 10 years, and from what I know, he thought he was a big hero for saving her or something. I was not part of their life. I saw them only 5 times from when I was 6 to when I was 14. Yes, just 5 times. And each time was the same. Not good, not real, and with fake smiles. I did not like it. They would act like we were a happy family, but I thought, who do you think you were fooling? Mike, though, he was something. He tried hard to be in my life. I recall one time when I was about 10, and he came to my school for a Father's Day event. My dad could not come that day, but I was not mad. He always made time for me in other ways, so missing one thing was not a big deal. But Mike, being Mike, saw this as his time. He came to me like he was taking my dad's place and said, "Hey Taylor, I can help if you want. I am here for you." I just looked at him, not sure if to laugh or yell, thinking, no, you are not my dad. You are not close to being my dad. I do not know you, and you have no right to act like you are taking his place. I was nice then, just said, I'm fine, and walked away. But inside, I was very mad. I did not tell my dad about it because I did not want him to feel bad. The worst thing was Mike tried to make it seem like I was missing something. He said small things like, if your dad did more for you, maybe you would not feel so far away. Far away? I was close to my dad. He gave me a good life, while Lisa did not care at all. I got mad at his mean words and told him, do not talk about my dad. He is better than Lisa will ever be, and he has done more for me than you can think of. He never tried to act like my dad again. The one thing that was always true about Lisa and Mike was that they were not there. They had their own family. They had 3 kids, and I did not even know their names until much later. They did not ask me to come to family times, birthdays, or any of those things. It was like they forgot about me as soon as they had their new family. Losing my dad when I was 14 was the hardest thing that has ever happened to me. It felt like my whole world broke in one day. One moment we were talking about dinner and me going to high school, and then he was gone. His heart stopped, just like that. No sign, nothing. I did not get to say goodbye. I remember that day so well. The phone call, the fear, the time when everything stopped. My uncles, John and Steve, came right away.
But I could not hear what people said. All sounds were just noise. I felt nothing, like someone tore my life in two when I had the broken parts. After the funeral, things went fast, faster than I was ready for. The house where I grew up, the one my dad worked so hard to keep for us, had to be sold. I did not have a choice. I had no place to go. My uncles said I could live with them right away, and I will always be glad for that. They did not wait. John and Steve were always more like big brothers to me than just uncles, so I knew I would be safe with them. But it felt like I was leaving all I had left of my dad. Now, here is when my mom and Mike come back. What a surprise, right? I had not seen them for years. And then after my dad died, they acted like they cared, like they would come and save the day. Lisa did not come to the funeral. Not because she was too sad to come. No, she said she had no time. Can you think of that? No time to say goodbye to the man who took care of her child when she did not want to? But Mike, oh, he came. Of course he did. The funeral was done and I was sitting with my uncles trying to think when Mike came to me. I looked up at him and thought, what do you want? He had that fake look on his face, the kind you know is not real. He sat next to me and said, you know, Taylor, you can come live with Lisa and me. We have a place for you. I just looked at him, not sure if to laugh or yell. This man, who I had seen maybe 5 times in my whole life, who did not even come to the funeral with my mom, was asking me to live with him. No thank you. I was not going to leave my uncles, the only real family I had left, to go live with people who did not know I was alive. I told him no, that I was staying with John and Steve, and that was it. Or so I thought. Mike did not give up easy. He went on and on about how family is important and how Lisa and he want to be there for me now. Now? Where were they when I was a child? Where were they when I sat by the window waiting for Lisa to come for her weekend visits? Now they want to be parents. Too late. I told him no very strongly. I said I did not need their pity or their help, that my dad raised me well without them, and I was not going to let them come into my life now just because it was easy for them. Mike did not like that. His face turned red, and he said things about how I was just a child and did not know how hard things were for Lisa. Oh, please. I was not going to sit there and let him talk to me like that. So I said, hard for her? My dad is the one who had to take care of me after she left me. Do not try to act like she is the one who was hurt here. He left after that, but first he said something mean about how I would be sorry for not having them in my life. Yes, right. Like I would be sad about not having Lisa and Mike in my life. No way. After that, I packed my things and went to live with John and Steve. They were great. I was sad, but they gave me time to think about things. They did not make me move on or stop being sad. They let me be mad, sad, lost, whatever I felt. They let me feel it, and I will always be glad for that. Moving was strange. Leaving the house I grew up in, the place with all my memories of my dad, was hard. Each room made me think of him, like the kitchen where we cooked or the living room where we saw movies every Friday. It was not just a house to me. It was the only place I ever felt safe. But it was gone now, just like my dad, and I could do nothing about it. The first night at John and Steve's home, I did not sleep much. I kept thinking my dad would come in and say all would be fine, but he was not there. And things were not fine. Not at all. I tried to stay busy after that. I put all my time into school and other things to keep my mind busy. But no matter what I did, I always felt that empty space. The truth that my dad was not there and would never be there again. You would think after all that, Lisa and Mike would leave me alone, right? No. Mike called a few more times after I moved in with my uncles trying to talk or connect. He would say things like, Taylor, I know you were sad, but your mom and I want to help you. Yes, because they have helped so much until now, right? One time he even said, your mom has changed. She is ready to be there for you now. Ready now? Now that my dad was gone and they didn't have to deal with him? I told him straight, I do not need her now. I needed her when I was a child and she was not there. It is too late. After that, I did not answer his calls. I did not want to see either of them. They had their life, their perfect family with their 3 kids, and I had my life with my uncles. I did not need Lisa or Mike acting like they cared when it was clear they didn't. And truly, life with John and Steve was good. It was not perfect. Nothing could take my dad's place, but it was steady. They helped me in ways Lisa and Mike never could. They were there for me. They showed up, and that was all I ever needed. When I was 27,
I thought I knew all about my so-called family. I had learned to stay away from Lisa and Mike, only talking to them when I had to. The rest of Lisa's family, I had no problems with them. I was not close to them, but they did not try to make me be family like Lisa and Mike did. So I thought it was okay to keep in touch. They were still in my life, but not close, you know? So when my grandparents on Lisa's side asked me to come to a family birthday party, I went without thinking. I did not think anything big would happen, just a normal family time. Come, say hi, eat cake, talk a little, then leave. Very normal. Chris, the man I will marry, could not come because he had to work. So I thought I would just go alone, say hi, and leave. But of course, things are not easy when Lisa and Mike are there. When I got to the party, all seemed fine at first. My grandparents were glad to see me, and I talked with some cousins and aunts. It was calm, nothing strange. I saw Lisa and Mike on the other side of the room, but I did not go to them. I saw no need. They knew how I felt, and I was not going to act like we were close. So I stayed with the people I knew well, keeping away from them. But Mike had other ideas. I was by the food getting cake when I felt someone tap my shoulder. I turned, and there he was, Mike with that same fake smile he always has. I sighed inside because I knew this would be bad. "Oh, Taylor, good to see you," he said like we were old friends. I made a small smile, just to be nice, and said, "Hey, Mike, I did not want to be rude in front of people, but I was already getting ready for the bad things he would say. He did not wait to say what he wanted. "So, I heard you are getting married. That is good news," he said with that fake smile. I nodded, trying to keep it short. "Yes, thanks." I hoped he would stop there, but that is not how Mike is. "And Lisa and I were a bit sad we were not asked to come to your engagement party," he said, speaking lower like he was being serious. "I mean, we are your family. I thought we would be asked." I felt my jaw tighten, but I stayed calm. I was not going to make a scene at a birthday party. It was not a big party, just close family and friends, I said, trying to keep my voice calm, but I knew this would not end well. Mike did not stop. He never does. "Well, we are family, Taylor. Lisa and I have always thought of you as part of our family, and we were hurt not to be asked. We care about you, you know." That is when I got very mad. Care about me? They said they cared. I took a deep breath, trying to keep my voice calm. "Mike, I think we both know why you were not asked. Let's not act like we are close." I saw his smile go away. He did not think I would say that, but I was not going to let him act like a parent who cares. He looked around to see if people were listening, then came closer. "Look, Taylor, I have always tried to be there for you, and I think we should move past our problems. I know your mom was not perfect, but I have always thought of you as my daughter. I would like to walk with you at your wedding if you will let me." I think time stopped when he said that.
Walk with me at my wedding. This man, who was never there when I needed someone, how dare he? My hands started to shake, and I could not hold back anymore. "Are you kidding me?" I said, my voice louder than I meant. Some people near us looked, but I did not care. "You always thought of me as your daughter, Mike? I barely know you. You think that because you married my mom, you were my dad. My dad is dead. He is the one who should walk with me at my wedding, but he can't because he is gone. And you have no right to act like you are taking his place." Mike's face turned red. He did not think I would yell like that, but I was done being quiet. "I am sorry you feel that way," he said, trying to sound calm, but I knew he was mad. "I have tried my best to be like a dad to you, but you never gave me a chance. Your dad did not do everything right. He kept you away from us, and I think that is why you were so mad." That was it. That was too much. "Do not talk about my dad," I said, getting closer to him. "He did everything for me while Lisa was too busy running away. You have no idea what it was like for him raising me alone while she left. And now you want to come and act like you are better than him? Like you should take his place? Stop thinking so much of yourself, Mike." The whole room was quiet now. Everyone was looking, but I did not care. I was done acting. Mike just stood there looking shocked, not knowing what to say. He opened his mouth, then closed it, and finally said, "You are not being nice. You should be more thankful for the people who care about you." That is when I got very mad. "Thankful?" I said, my voice shaking with anger. "Thankful for what? You were not there, Mike. Lisa was not there. None of you were there when I needed someone. My dad was the only one who cared. And now you want me to be thankful to you? You are nothing to me. Nothing." With that, I turned and left. I did not wait for him to answer. I did not care. I could hear people talking and feel them looking at me, but it did not matter. I was done with all of it. Done with Mike, done with Lisa, done with acting like they were more than people I did not know. Later that night, I got a text from one of my aunts saying I should not have made a scene, that I made Mike and Lisa feel bad in front of everyone. But truly, I do not feel bad. They wanted to act like family, but they do not get to choose when to be there for me. They had many years to be there, and they were not. So no, I am not sorry, and I do not want them at my wedding. After the big fight at the party, I thought that would be the end. I thought I made it clear and they would stop. But no, of course not. The text started that night, and I knew this was not over. Not at all. First, it was my Aunt Diane. She is one of those people who always try to make peace. You know, always trying to fix things, make everyone happy. She sent me a long text about how I should not have made Mike and Lisa feel bad in front of people. "You know they are trying, Taylor," she wrote. "Mike has always thought of you as his daughter. You did not have to make him feel bad in front of everyone." I looked at the text for a minute, just shaking my head. Trying? Really? They have had my whole life to try. I was not going to feel bad for speaking up for myself, so I wrote back. If they really cared, they would not have waited until now to act like it. I am not going to be nice just to make them feel better about the bad things they did to me. She did not write back after that. But then the big thing came the next morning when Lisa called me. I had not talked to her directly, and truly I could not remember the last time. Maybe a year or more? I almost did not answer, but I wanted to know what she would say after all that. Taylor, we need to talk, she started, her voice hard and formal, like she was going to tell me what to do. I sighed. Already sorry, I answered the phone. What do you want, Lisa? I heard what happened at the party, she said, like she was not even there. And I have to say, I am very upset with you. You did not have to yell at Mike like that. He has only tried to help. I had to laugh at that. Help? Are you serious? The only time Mike has tried to help is when it is good for him. He thinks that because he married you, he can come into my life and act like my dad. He is not, and he never will be. She was quiet for a second, and I knew she did not like being told the truth. But then she did what she always does. She blamed me. You know this way you act will not help you. You can't keep thinking about the past forever, Taylor. Your dad is not here anymore. Mike and I are... I felt so mad I had to stop myself for a second before I said something I could not take back. But I was done being nice. Yes, you are here now, Lisa. Where were you when I was a child, when I really needed you? Do not act like being here now makes up for all the things you did or did not do. She sighed, that annoyed sigh she used to make when I was a child, like I was being hard for no reason. I know I made mistakes, Taylor, but it was not easy for me either. I did the best I could. The best you could? I cut her off. The best you could do was to leave me with my dad and barely come for your weekends? You did not even try. You were not there, Lisa, so do not stand there and tell me you did your best. There was another long quiet time, and I could hear her trying to think of what to say. Finally, she said, "And I am your mother, Taylor. You do not get to talk to me like this." I couldn't help it. I laughed again. But this time, it was not because it was funny. It was just silly. You are my mother? Really? You think that name means something just because you had me? You lost the right to that name a long time ago. You were not a mother then, and you are not one now. That must have made her mad because her voice got sharp and she was on the defense. And you need to stop thinking about the past. You will be sorry for not having us in your life, Taylor. Mike has only wanted to help you, and you are saying no to his help. At that point, I was done. Done with the guilt. Done with her excuses. Done with her trying to make me seem bad. And Lisa, the only thing I'm sorry for is wasting my time thinking you ever cared. Do not call me again. And with that, I hung up the phone. I sat for a few minutes, just looking at my phone, trying to understand everything. Part of me was mad. Mad that she still did not get it. Mad that she was trying to make me seem like the bad person in this whole thing. But another part of me felt free. Like a weight I had carried for years was finally gone. I did not owe them anything. Not my time, not my forgiveness, nothing. But of course it did not end there. Later that day, my cousin Jessica called. She is closer to my age, and we had always been fine, so I thought maybe this call would be different. But no. "Taylor, I heard what happened. Are you okay?" she started. It seemed real, so I let my guard down a little. "Yes, I am fine. It is just they do not get it. They never will." Jessica sighed, and I knew where this was going. "I get that you're upset, but do you not think you were a little too hard? Mike has been trying, and Lisa, well, she is still your mom, you know." I made a sound. "Not you too, Jessica. I do not want to hear it. They did not try, they were not there for me when it was important, and now they think they can just come back and act like family. It does not work that way." "And I know, she said, trying to sound like she understood. "And they are still family. Maybe you could just, I don't know, meet them in the middle." I could feel my patience going away. Meet them in the middle. How about they meet me in the middle for once in their lives? I am done trying hard to make them feel better about what they did. Jessica was quiet, and after a few strange seconds, she just said, "Okay, I get it. I'm sorry if I said too much." I did not want to be mad at her. It was not her fault, but I was tired of everyone making excuses for Lisa and Mike. Tired of people acting like I was the one who needed to fix things when they were the ones who broke it. That night, I sat with Chris and told him all that had happened. He listened like he always does and just said, "You do not owe them anything, Taylor. You have done more than enough. It's okay to let go." And that's when I knew he was right. I did not need to carry this weight anymore. I did not need them to say I was okay, or their approval, or their kind of family. I had my own life now, my own future to make with people who really cared about me. So I blocked Lisa and Mike's numbers. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I could finally breathe. I thought that after blocking Lisa and Mike, things would calm down, that I would have peace and they would understand. But of course they did not. I should have known. Instead, they did more. I was not answering their calls or texts, so Mike thought the next best thing was to come to my home. Yes, you read that right. The man came to my door without telling me, like we were close or something. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I was just trying to have a quiet weekend. Chris was out doing things, and I was doing some work at home. I heard a knock at the door, and I wasn't expecting anyone, so I thought it was a package or a neighbor. But when I opened the door, there was Mike standing there like he should be there. I looked at him and could not speak for a second. "What are you doing here?" I finally asked, not even trying to hide that I was annoyed. "I need to talk," he said, very serious, like this was some kind of help talk. "You have been ignoring us."
And that is not fair. We should have a chance to explain. I crossed my arms, blocking the door. I have heard all your excuses, Mike. There is nothing left to explain. He looked frustrated, like he could not believe I was not letting him in. Taylor, this has gone on too long. Your mom and I want to fix this. We are your family, and you are keeping us out. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was just like him. Family. You do not get to come now and act like you have been family all these years. Where were you when I was growing up? Where was Lisa? You cannot just ignore someone for half their life and then come when it's easy for you. Mike moved forward, trying to get into my home, but I did not move. We did not ignore you. Your dad... I cut him off, my voice sharp. Do not bring my dad into this. He was there for me every day while Lisa left me. You have no right to talk about him. I could see his face turning red, and I knew I made him mad, but I did not care. I was done being quiet. And I'm just saying, he started, trying to stay calm, your dad did not make things easy for us. He never let us get close to you. I got very mad at that. Are you kidding me? My dad did not make things hard. Lisa did not even try, and you were just as bad. You came a few times and acted like you were doing me a big favor. Do not stand there and act like you have been some kind of dad to me. You were not there. Mike's face got hard, and I could see he was getting mad now. You need to stop thinking about the past, Taylor. You are a grown-up now. You cannot keep blaming your mom and me for what happened a long time ago. Trust me, I am not living in the past, I said back, but I am not going to pretend like you and Lisa have changed just because you suddenly want to act like a happy family. You cannot change the past to make yourselves feel better. Mike made a frustrated sound and ran his hand through his hair. We have been trying, Taylor. We have been trying to make things right, but you keep pushing us away. You will be sorry for not having us in your life. And there it was, the guilt, the same thing Lisa tried to do. It was like they had practiced this together, but I was not falling for it. Regret, I said, my voice full of sarcasm. What exactly should I be sorry for? Not having in my life the people who were not there when I needed them? Letting go of people who only come when it's good for them? No, Mike, the only thing I am sorry for is letting you and Lisa back in my life at all. He just stood there looking at me like I was a child who did not appreciate what he was giving. You are making a mistake, he said, his voice low and cold, and you will see one day that you need us. I shook my head, completely done with this talk. I know, Mike, I don't need you. I never did. And with that, I stepped back and closed the door hard in his face. For a second, I just stood there, my heart beating fast. I couldn't believe it had come to this. But at the same time, it felt like a big weight was off my shoulders. For the first time in years, I felt like I was finally free from all the guilt, all the pressure, all the fake family stuff that Lisa and Mike had been trying to make me believe. But of course, it did not end there. I heard him knock again, this time louder. Taylor, open the door, he said through the door, his voice more angry now. We are not done. But we were done. To me, we were more than done. I did not even answer. I just walked away from the door and sat on the couch, turning up the TV to cover the sound of him knocking. After a few minutes, he finally stopped and left. Later that night, I got a message from Lisa. It was short and mean, just like I thought. I heard what you did. You will be sorry. I did not even answer. I deleted the message and blocked her number again, this time for good. When Chris came home and I told him what happened, he just shook his head. I can't believe they still don't get it, he said. You have been more than fair with them. Yes, well, they'll never get it, I said, and I am done trying to make them understand. And that was it. That was the time I knew I didn't owe them anything. Not my time, not my forgiveness, not even a talk. They had many years to be there for me, and they chose not to. So now I was choosing to live my life without them, and for the first time, I felt fine with that.